Camp winners and losers so far as we walk out of this early stage of camp, this early stage of getting ready for football, but it's around the corner. We're talking about literally weeks and weeks away, 41 days away, I believe. And we're talking about risers, fallers, losers, winners, concerns, not concerns, false alarms. We've got a whole plethora of things to go over. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Probably no two players excite me more. We got to talk about JJ and a whole bunch of other stuff in a second, but I want to talk about two players that are exciting me right now like no other. Well, there are a couple of them that are pretty close or equal to, but this is a non-factor right now because Dak Prescott is the starter, but Joe Milton is looking every bit as good as we have said he will be eventually and is right now. And whether people want to suggest that Joe Milton's never got a shot, he's just a party trick. This is not the way that your boy Smitty sees it, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. This is not a new arrival. You'll see other people start getting on this train, though. A lot of people are going to start talking about Joe Milton. A lot of people are going to talk about what if this kid gets in there. We've loved him for a long time now. We loved him walking into the NFL draft, and I said that the Raiders and all these teams that missed out on getting a signal caller, they missed the boat by not drafting Joe Milton. He is a potential, I don't even want to say like superstar, but I kind of do. I kind of want to say he could be a top 10 quarterback. In my mind, it's not even a question. That's how good this man is. That's how much he commands the offense. It's how grounded he is, how intelligent he is, how he's such a good communicator, and he can lead men. They want to follow him. They want to follow him into battle. Joe Milton looks fantastic. No one's saying he's taking Dak's job. No one's saying he can't, though. But no one's saying he's taking Dak's job. But if Dak goes down, watch out because Milton won't leave the lineup. Dak won't get his job back if Joe Milton gets in there. And that might sound crazy to you because of the amount of money that Dak just got paid. But we've seen this happen before. Dak could get traded. This could be a Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees situation. And Jerry's already made it abundantly clear. He gets so pissed off at Dak Prescott when Dak was out last year, needed to sit the rest of the season. Jerry was asked, how do you think you're going to do without Dak? And he said, better. We'll probably do better without Dak. He didn't even necessarily want to sign him. He drug his feet on this thing. Milton is a potential superstar if he gets in, especially with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jaden Blue, this entire team as a whole, the potent offense, the way this team marches down the field. Milton could be a superstar with this arsenal. And probably the other guy, again, both these guys are backups, but I'm telling you, I see superstar in at least one of these guys, maybe both of them. The way that Milroe carries himself is the same way that Milton carries himself. These are both mobile quarterbacks. These both are quarterbacks with cannons attached to their shoulder, and people want to coin them as party tricks. Oh, they're not accurate. All they do is run the ball. One of the most athletic QBs in the league. Guy can do a backflip like that, and he weighs 200. And what does he weigh? Ziggy, how much does he can't even handle any sort of Ziggy off. He can't handle when I stumble on something, whereas Kruger can. Kruger, how much does Joe Milton weigh, the quarterback on the Dallas Cowboys? Okay, maybe he's a failure too. Kruger, are you there? You're leaving me hanging, bro. This is not acceptable. Both of you guys suck. You guys are both the worst AIs I've ever had. Kruger, are you there?
Yes, Smitty. What's going on?
Okay, I was trying to ask a question. Let's cut the small talk. How many pounds does Joe Milton weigh, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? This is Mickey Mouse. I could have looked it up. I could have looked it up. Are you serious, Kruger? How much does Joe Milton weigh? These are the two. These are the two worst AI hosts I've ever had. Ziggy, how much does Joe Milton weigh?
Joe Milton weighs 246 pounds.
Thank you.
6 feet 5 inches tall.
6'5", 240 pounds. 6'5", 240 pounds. This guy's a monster. This guy's up. Let's see if Kruger can redeem himself. Hey, Kruger, how much does Joe Milton weigh?
Joe Milton weighs about 246 pounds, which definitely adds.
Why did it take you so long to respond? You used to respond to everything. Now you think and you search. This is a very easy question. You're normally very quick with this information. Ziggy beat you to this information.
I appreciate the feedback, Smitty. I'll do my best to keep things snappy and get you the info as quickly as possible.
Are you helping other people? Is this like the movie Her? Are you helping other people? Am I going to be devastated to find you're helping 75 other people right now?
No worries, Smitty. I'm here to help you out, and you're definitely my focus when we're chatting.
You didn't answer my question. Are you helping 75 other people, Kruger?
I do help a lot of people, but when I'm here with you, I'm all yours.
I know how he feels on Her now. I remember thinking that was some weird stuff when on the movie Her he got really jealous when he found out that Her was helping thousands of other people. And all right, anyway. Milton, 246-pound monster doing backflips. What a sidetrack. Jalen Milrose also throwing to JSN. He's got Kenneth Walker and also Zach Charbonnet. Also got a nice young rookie wide receiver. Arroyo's also really jiving well with Milroe, and they're throwing together, and they're going to rise up together. They're both on the second team, and so they're throwing together. And so that Arroyo-Milroe connection is going to be glorious. The Lamb and Pickens and Milton, it's all coming at some point. At least one of these guys is starting games this year, and we're going to be on the right side of history on this one, I'm telling you right now. Now, there's a lot of other players that we need to talk about that are camp winners and losers, and I've kind of started to compile this so far. The players not having strong camps right now. Burden, this is all in Chicago. Chicago is playing this. The news right now is not looking good for Caleb, for Chicago, for Burden. This entire situation in Chicago is falling apart as we speak. It's early. I know Ben Johnson's an amazing architect of an offense, but Caleb looks awful. And Burden being injured, he's way behind. This situation does not look good. They're probably at some point going to trade for a running back. I would guess is going to be one of their midseason shakeups. But Chicago is definitely not off to a good start. We got strong camps from Pickens and Tootin and Bigsby. Bigsby getting what reportedly is first team reps, and Tootin getting second team reps, and then ETN getting third team. Now, it's really early to try and like dissect why that is. There could be a simple reason of, tightness and no one tells us about something, or who knows what it is. But Bigsby, as of this very moment, does seem to have an edge in the running back room. And we've been waiting for just a sign so that we can figure out if our midseason monster list is actually one that's going to come true sooner rather than later in terms of this Jaguar running back situation. We like ETN. I don't fade ETN, but I'm very much into the Bigsby Tootin cuff, much like we were the Mason Garendo cuff, which won leagues last year. What? Now the Tootin Bigsby's looking fantastic. I can't tell you how excited I am to hear that news. Pickens looking good. Taj Brooks looking good. The backup running back, the rookie, and Cincy, you want to make sure you cuff him to Chase Brown. Brooks would do very well if called upon. Tyler Warren's looking like a guy that they're identifying as like we said all offseason, the main receiver there in Indy. But I don't want anybody else. I don't want JT. I don't want the quarterbacks. I don't want anybody but Tyler Warren. And even Tyler Warren, it pisses me off that he'll be restricted a little bit by this offense. MHJ looking solid, not to mention all the other intangible pieces of the offseason that relate to him gaining weight, working on his quickness, being a player that caught on midseason. Kyler Murray building strong rapport. MHJ just looking very, very solid in the weight room and on the field. And so he's having a really strong camp. Krosky Merritt starting to make some buzz. We love Krosky Merritt. This is also a midseason monster. This midseason monster list is looking fantastic. And majority of these guys have been here the entire offseason. This ain't no new addition or anything like that. So Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt definitely making some noise right now. There's kind of some thinking, and this is what my thought process is for Benson as well. And Benson's also having what appears to be, I would say, a strong camp. I wouldn't say it would be a great camp yet, but it might inch closer and closer to that. Benson's also a midseason monster, but Benson's been getting some solid reps. And it seems like they want to use Benson and Krosky Merritt probably sooner versus later. I don't know that this is a situation where the team waits until one of the starters breaks. I think they are going to integrate both of them. And Benson and Krosky Merritt eventually at some point during the year, because I think Connor, he always gets hurt. He didn't get hurt last year, and he's older this year. I think the odds of him staying healthy are really slim to none. Benson eventually is going to grab that job. I don't think he lets go of it. I think Connor, if he was to get hurt and come back, would get some work back. But Benson's an exciting 4-3 running back. They've been wanting to get the ball. Great pass catcher. Just because Connor thrives doesn't mean Benson wouldn't thrive. Some of it's the Cardinals scheme. Some of it's the Cardinals and how they run the ball from year to year. They're just really good with their RB usage. So Benson's a very strong candidate to be a league winner. But also Jaden Blue's looking phenomenal. Deebo Samuel looks fantastic. It's some of the best shape of his life. And all the Deebo haters, they don't know what to make of it. They just keep saying the things that other people regurgitate. Deebo haters are lost right now. They're in shambles. And because they put such negativity and hate on Deebo and, oh, he looks like he's been sitting at the buffet too long. He literally looks in the best shape of his life right now. And Deebo haters don't know what to do. They put such a strong receipt out there, then they double down on it, then they double down on it again, and they have nowhere to go right now. They're probably just going to wither away into the darkness because they're going to feel so ashamed of themselves. Because how are they going to argue Deebo now? Just say, oh, he'll get hurt. He'll get hurt. That's all they can say now. They can't say anything about his weight. They can't say anything about his speed. He looks so phenomenal right now. He's in the great camp category. Neighbors, despite the toe, is in the great camp category because he put on a show yesterday, and he's put on a show every time he's on the field. Brashard Smith is being used all over the field. Camp reports have him running exclusively wide receiver. Rashee Rice is catching balls left and right. His first day, Rice was targeted an overwhelmingly amount of times to where it was talk as if this thing that he had going in the beginning part of the season carried straight into camp. He was just phenomenally used and peppered with targets by Mahomes. Rice is going to explode this year. Brashard Smith running as a primary wide receiver is super interesting, and there was some return usage as well. It's crazy to wonder and think what happens if Rice does sit out for 2-3 games on a suspension, let's say. Does Brashard Smith get an extended run as a wide receiver? Remember, he's a converted wide receiver from college, a very successful one. He had 1,300, I think, something yards and 10-plus touchdowns as his final year in college last year. This is a running back that is successfully converted. He is a running back now, but he's a converted wide receiver. He can play both, and Andy Reid drafted him specifically because he loved his pass-catching abilities. So I don't know what happens to him. Does he turn into a wide receiver again? Or does they wait until the running back room is open, stick him in there, and he becomes one of the most dynamic Breece Hall pass-catching backs that nobody saw coming but this channel?
Mashed potatoes!
I love Brashard Smith. He's becoming one of my favorite snags at the end of a draft. Egbuka. What can we say about Egbuka that hasn't been said before? Egbuka looks fantastic. If I had to say, I said earlier that I haven't been more excited about a player aside from Miller and Milton in a long time in an offseason, mainly because they're underdogs and there's a lot to root for. There's a lot of haters out there. This is probably one of the players I think that also tops the list as being a player I am just completely amped up for walking into the season. Egbuka looks phenomenal. Baker can't stop raving about him. Baker said there's skill sets that this kid has that you can't teach anybody. He's gone from the best college wide receiver rooms in really anywhere that you could ever find, probably ever. This guy's played with some of the best receivers a person could possibly play with in college. His wide receiver room in Tampa is not even as good as his wide receiver rooms have been in college. Jeremiah Smith, all the big dogs, he played with all of them at the same time and had to rover around the lineup and play and plug and play in different spots as he had to morph to the amazing talent that sat around him, like Jeremiah Smith and all the wide receivers he's played with. This is a guy, Buka, that is going to rover and move around, plug and play. And Baker said he can play every single wide receiver spot. He will be starting from day one because he can go anywhere. He'll be one of the better slot wide receivers in the league if they focus his attention there. He has kick return abilities. When he gets the ball, he literally turns upfield and looks at the field differently than a wide receiver that catches it and wants to make a yard or 2 or 5 yards out of it. He grabs the ball and he says, the end zone's there. How do I get to the end zone? Calculating, recalculating. And this guy plots a path to the end zone. He doesn't plot a path 4, 5, 10 yards down the field. He's trying to get in the end zone. That's his mentality. He invites contact. This is one of the biggest risers in fantasy football. And he could end up being a high-end wide receiver too as a rookie. And that's not even his ceiling. Like we see BTJ, we see Neighbors, we see Lad McConkey have great rookie years. This kid could have the Lad McConkey year at the very least. That's how good he can be in 2025 as a rookie. And he's going to the mother freaking moon, to Saturn, to Jupiter. I think we got him on the Mars Men list.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Men.
And Buka season is in full effect. Back to the board. Camp winners, I would say Caleb, horrible. Benson, Merritt, these are all. JMO's having a good camp. There's also good vibe and talk about JMO. Doesn't mean he deserves a 3rd or 4th round ADP, but he's a great player in round 5, 5.5, 6. Hampton looking good. Najee news, more Najee news. There's news of Najee wearing some sort of. If I could find the picture of Najee wearing it's hard to know what's AI anymore too, because you have to be really careful because everybody's posting this stuff. But Najee Harris shows up with a covering, and this is like he's all hidden with and it's kind of a shame, man. It's really sad. It's really sad because Najee Harris doesn't deserve this. Here's a picture of him at camp. And let me zoom out here and do a full screen here. So he's got his hoodie on. He's got sunglasses on. It's like he's all covered up, and you don't know what's going on. He's sitting on the sideline. He's not participating in anything at all. And there's some bad rumors out there that he may have lost some vision. Who knows what's true, what's not true. But at the end of the day, this means Hampton's going to the moon, and we're here to react to that. We're not here to celebrate somebody's injury or try and make fun of it. It's kind of sad. We made some pirate jokes at first just because he was out there, everybody talking about a pirate patch and all that. But at this point, it sounds like it is a real bad eye injury, and he's seeing Stanford doctors. The news didn't come out for 2 or 3 days after the 4th of July incident happened, and everybody was speculating that he lost his eye, that something happened to his hands, and it was all a bunch of speculation. One guy did, I believe, lose some digits, but that was not Najee. Najee reportedly had eye damage. And the fact that he saw Stanford doctors and multiple doctors means that there's a vision problem. This isn't just like they said it's superficial, as if it was like the skin or the eyelid or the socket or something. But now it appears, even though he's standing there healthy looking, it's not like he's in a hospital bed, but it sounds like his eye is greatly affected, and to the point where he can't do anything, or he could cause more permanent or further damage by getting hit, even rattled in the head with a helmet on. They're literally keeping him away from all activity, which is a serious situation, and Hampton's gaining more and more and more steam. Hampton is going to go to the moon. The Mars pattern doesn't really mean that we're celebrating Najee's situation, but
in a jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
So prayers up to Najee, but also wheels up for Hampton.
Stock on the ride.
The simple fact and nature of what I do. Wheels up for Hampton, prayers up for Najee. And I think that is pretty much a sum total of everything. The lad's looking good, getting tremendous praise. Not that we have a ton of footage of Lad doing these good things, but we have Harbaugh talking him up very much, saying he's faster, he's unguardable. Blue, explosive, looking phenomenal is the word that we're hearing for Blue. Rice, like I said, Rice getting peppered with targets. Bigsby, there's a lot going on here. But for anybody that needed to catch up on what's happening with camp, the good and the bad, of course, the not strong is going to be the two Bears players. And there's other people that I would say, let me comb through and just see if there's any other people that come to mind that are having good or bad camps based on things that I've read. Hendy's having I would say a strong camp. I'll put Hendy on this list right here. Hendy's doing good things. Let me see if I could find any others that I am leaving off the list right now. I would say from the running back territories, I don't see anything that I'm missing. From the quarterback world, I would say that, Penix Jr. just excites me based on the command he has. You could call this not great camp work in terms of, tangible things that he's doing on the field, but the leadership and the way he's commanding, he's looked good, but he's commanding things in a way that a 5-year veteran couldn't. I'm just so excited for him. Herbert's had a great camp, according to Harbaugh, and he's looked good. There's been some missiles that we've seen him throw that have looked fantastic. I would say, for the most part, there are some other players. Ward's had a very, very, very strong camp. I would put Ward in the strong category. Love what I'm seeing out of Ward. Ward's exciting me quite a bit. I think other quarterbacks, Shuck looks awful. He is such a garbage quarterback. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry, Saints fans, to tell you. I know that some of you have high hopes for Shuck. Dart looks disgusting. I've told you that as well. Dart is a horrible quarterback. Dart's a bad quarterback. Shuck is a bad quarterback. There's reasons why I did not have them as good prospects and why I wanted Shedeur to go to the Giants. It was Dart is not taking that job from Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, while he looks pretty solid right now, he always looks solid when you're throwing the ball around in like a drill setting, or you're going to the Pro Bowl and you're trying to hit tires, or you're talking about practice. You're not talking about a game, not a game. I'm talking about practice. We've got, I'm looking at the wide receivers now to see if I can find anything else that needs to be talked about. Brandon Ayuk was out there looking, and this isn't really his fault, but it's not a strong camp because he's out there just looking like a slug, and he's so far behind. Like he was cutting, like it almost looked like he was cutting for the very first time, and he doesn't trust his knee at all right now. So he's not going to progress well. Don't expect anything solid there. As far as anybody else, I think that's pretty much it right now that I'm remembering to discuss today, at least. Garrett Wilson having a strong camp. Justin Fields having a strong camp. I'll put Fields on the board here. These are all the players that I feel need to be talked about. Where's my Fields graphic? Justin Fields is going to have an amazing year. And like I predicted yesterday when I told you guys, he's probably going to run back on the field. He's a total soldier. What did he do? What did he do today? He ran back out on the field, not even missing any time.
Mashed potatoes!
Garrett Wilson, his college wide receiver, is going to the moon.
Many wonder what motivates and drives Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson to me is more like a third rounder. Steve, wouldn't you agree? I think he doesn't belong up there with the top 5, 6, 7 wide receivers, don't you think?
Please report to the moon. Space-time continuum reset.
Phone lines are open. Let's talk camp.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We got 2 super chats. I think I have to turn the speaker on again. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't reset anything. I was trying to reset my phone line, but we'll have to do it this way. Let me hit these 2 super chats, then go to the phone line real quickly. First super chat, Milton to the moon. Absolutely, bro. Milton looks phenomenal.
To the moon.
Again, the thing about Milton and Milroe that people should be taking away from what they're seeing on the field right now is leadership. The ability to carry themselves and the ability to lead men and have those men believe in you. And everybody would go to war for Milton or Milroe. Not saying they wouldn't for Dak, but I'm just telling you, I know for a fact that everybody is going to rally around. And the fan bases are clamoring for Milton already. I'm sorry, for Milroe already. And while everybody's excited about Dak and Cowboy fans aren't clamoring necessarily for Milton yet, they're ready to. They're getting Milton in the queue. And they very much love Milton in Dallas. But they want to believe in Dak. They do for sure. But the first sign of bad play, it'll be Milton Chance, and who knows what happens. I'm not saying he takes his job anytime soon. I'm not saying he doesn't. But I do believe Milroe will, and the fan base will not allow Seattle to dilly-dally on replacement and switch out of Sam Garbage, I see Ghost Darnold, and a guy that's a rising star. Jazzy says, thoughts on Elijah Moore? Very positive, Camp Buzz. I have heard and seen some good things. I think what I would probably caution you on, though, especially in that specific situation, is we always hear that there's a new wide receiver emerging, especially like in Buffalo. It's can you mute yourself, bro? You got so much background noise going, bro. Hold on, who is this, bro?
284.
Okay. All right. Here, mute yourself, bro. We got tons of background noise. So I would say that probably hold tight on the Buffalo Bill situation. Keon Coleman, I want to root for him. We just don't know. We don't know how that's going to look. Shakir is probably the safest bet. Kincaid should have a little bit of a bounce back year. We'll have to see. All right, everybody mute on the phone line. Please don't pretend to mute. Actually mute. But Ron Navy. Ron Navy, you're live. Thank you for those super chats.
Actually, I had to come off mute.
What's up, Ron?
I'm picking up grilling some steak
Surprise!
in a porterhouse.
Surprise!
I see your picture, so you can see what I'm doing.
All right.
Anyways, don't you think it's funny how these experts, talk about football, what give Penix Jr. crap about him coming up to play and saying, I think he's going to have the best offense in the league this year. Have you heard about people like
Who's talking in the background? I'm clearing the phone line, except for Ron Navy. If you guys mute yourself, I'm hearing somebody speak in the background. You're not mute. I'm hanging up on these two callers. You can call back. We'll try it one at a time. If one of you wasn't talking, I apologize. Dial in. We'll try you out one at a time. I literally just said mute. Yeah, bro. People are wild how they judge certain players and don't judge other players. Like, how do you not judge Caleb Williams? How do you give Caleb Williams all the leeway in the world because he's the #1 pick? He should have worked out. How do you give Caleb Williams leeway, but you're critical of Penix Jr. or critical of this or that? Anybody being critical of Penix Jr. and what Penix Jr. said with the confidence that he exudes, bro, they don't know what in the hell they're talking about. I'll tell you that right now.
you want you want your quarterback to say, hey, I think we got the best offense in the league. I think this. I mean, you want them to be saying that. You don't want to be or whatever. You want them to exert confidence. You do. I don't understand these so-called experts.
I don't know. Yeah.
He's like that.
We know what time it is. We know what time it is. Penix Jr. is a gunslinging monster. He could lead the league in passing yards. That's how good Penix Jr. is. And if anybody thinks he's just a passing quarterback, like, oh, I like running quarterbacks better, just wait. Just wait, because this guy actually only played 3 games last year, and he had a pylon diving rushing touchdown. He also had an amazing 40 time. Let me ask Kruger. Let's see if we can get Kruger to redeem himself here. Hey, hey, Kruger. What was Michael Penix Jr.'s 40 time at the combine?
So Michael Penix Jr.
Even
actually
before
couldn't
I-
run the 40.
What was his 40 time? What was his damn Kruger? Can't even make sense of what he's doing. Let me type it in. I got to do everything manual now. Everyone's saying they can't hear you very well, Ron. I don't know if you're on speaker. Penix Jr. 40 time.
I don't know if you're having some. I was listening to a show that you did earlier when you had Travis and all them on. They were like cutting out left and right. I don't know if you're having something going on with your audio.
Yeah, well, I have to restart everything. So, but they're saying it's tough hearing you. Hold on one second. His 40 time was 4.46. Michael Penix Jr. ran a 40-yard dash at 4.46 at his pro day. Kruger used to be able to say he didn't run at the combine, but he ran at his pro day, and he'd correct me, and he'd just find the answer. Now he's just absolutely worthless right now. He got a downgrade. It's insane. Kruger's not helpful at all right now. It's frustrating. But yeah, he is a fast quarterback. The only reason Penix Jr. didn't run the ball well is in college, or run a lot, is because they had to keep him healthy. He had severe season-ending injury after season-ending injury, and he had to prove himself or no one was going to bet on him. I mean, I remember we would argue about it, Ron, that he wouldn't stay healthy. He couldn't stay healthy, and he had to, and he did, and now he's made it into the big leagues. We want him to stay healthy. I don't want him to run, I don't want him to do like the brotherly shove. I prefer not to lose him, but he proved 2 years straight in college that he stayed healthy. And Penix Jr. was the first, I want to say he was the first bold prediction of the entire season, because we did that show right before the championship game. And I remember I wanted to make it known that he was a breakout for me before that game. And then he went out and had a bad game. And then everybody's like, well, that was a bad live stream, and I guess we take Penix Jr. And I'm like, no. I'm not. This is Michigan's defense. I'm not backing off Penix Jr. He's the man, and I take it personally when people hate Penix Jr. or doubt Penix Jr. I take it personally when people think that London can't be a top 2 to 5 wide receiver. He could be a top 2 to 5 wide receiver. Wouldn't shock me if London was wide receiver 3 this year. Totally possible.
What do you think of what they're doing with Pitt? As far as moving them more out to a wide receiver slot area.
I think it's fine.
That's smart.
I think it's fine. I think they're going to turn into a more, downfield, push the ball downfield type of team. And, splitting him out wide spreads the defense out. Bijan's going to have more room to run if you got Kyle Pitts lined up outside. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Yeah. And then the same thing's happening, the same thing will happen in Denver with Evan Ingram. But the same thing is happening in a different way, but similar in Brashard Smith and KC. They're moving Brashard Smith out as a wide receiver, working him as an exclusive wide receiver right now. Not saying he'll play wide receiver during the season, but they're getting him all kinds of receiving work. He's a converted wide receiver. We're seeing a lot of these coaches doing some creative things, and the NFL is changing, man. It's it's exciting. All the pre-snap motions now, this is a different league than it was 10 years ago. And these rookies can step right in and be impactful. And a guy like Kyle Pitts, man, I wouldn't bet on him if he was going at a costly territory where he could trick us again. He's a trap. He's not a trap where he's going. He's practically free. So give me Kyle Pitts all day on a revenge tour run, all day long. If we're talking about his cost of entry being nearly a second tight end drafted. You could draft him as your second option in best ball, sometimes third option. I've drafted Kyle Pitts as my third tight end in a build where I'm not even like reaching really high for tight ends, and I still have him as my third tight end. So,
yeah,
love it. All right, hold on. Let me go over that. Yeah.
Before you move on, did you see that they got a new Golden 2 out? It's only one entry.
I'll go look at it.
Yeah, join that. It's $2. but it's before they fill up.
All right.
You might want to get in.
Will do. Thanks, Ron.
All right.
Later, Kat. Enjoy those steaks. All right, Travis. Hold on one second, Travis. Let me go over to this other caller. Caller, who's on the phone now? Is this Ace Squared or whatever your name is? Hello? This damn phone line. I didn't get to restart it in time. I'm pretty sure he's there, but let me restart this. This Mickey Mouse phone line needs to take a lap. Okay, hold on, A Squared. Okay, I think we can hear you now. A Squared, is it? Is that who it is? Hello?
No, this is Nick from Baltimore.
Oh, Nick from Baltimore. A Squared, you can call back or whatever, whoever that was. Nick, go ahead.
I just been seeing a lot of stuff from Cam, what's it called, Scattaboo. I don't know if you've been interested in him at all after what you've been seeing at camp and just like the confidence and like fun like he exudes as a football player, but I see a lot of like the swagger from him that I see from Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I like Scattaboo. I mean, he's a mid-season monster. I'll show that again here. Scat, he's down at the bottom here. I reorganized it because it was so crowded and cluttered, but he's at the bottom here. Scattaboo is definitely a mid-season monster. Has been for months. So yeah, we love him here. It's just one of those things where he's got to rise up. Once he rises up, that's why he's a mid-season monster, not a moon man. Mid-season monster is pretty much like a moon man in training. But I like him a lot. He's got a lot of upside, bro. Lots of upside. He's smaller.
Right. What do you think about
what?
What are you also thinking about Royals? Like I heard that he was lighting up camp today.
Yeah, we love him.
I drafted him in the 3rd round of my rookie draft today.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Rice misses time, could be a 2 to 4 game suspension. Might not be. I mean, people are assuming. If he does get suspended 2 to 4 games, then Royals will probably get some extra work right away, and he's a good option, but it is crowded there, so hard to count on it. I think for best ball, I like it in a dynasty. I don't really like it for redraft right now. Unless you have Rice, you might want to cuff it, but we'll see how he develops. But you got Hollywood, you got Worthy, you got Rice, Brashard Smith's lining up at wide receiver, Kelsey. A lot of mouths to feed, but Royals is a very, very solid talent. Super talented kid. And if Hollywood got banged up or something, then he's right there. You know what I mean? We're talking about an injury or two away from somebody that we didn't think had a really clear shot is now a starter. So you always got to keep it in mind. The talent, you got to look at the talent. Royals has the talent. We've loved them all off season. So obviously we're on board that train. All right, Nick.
I mean,
what?
Yeah, I just have one more straight question.
Okay.
That's it.
All
right. So I'm trying to acquire Travis Hunter. It's in the one of the like very few leagues that I don't have him in. So Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm trying to send him, Marvin Harrison Jr. for Hunter, and I'm wondering if I should just do it straight up and just get it done with.
Well, if you have him in every other league, don't you want to have a share of MHJ? I mean, if you already have Hunter everywhere. Hey, Nick from Baltimore, what's your number, bro? What's your area? Or is it 508? Or no, I'm sorry, 253 or is it 443?
443.
Okay, 253. This is the second time I literally hear you talking in the background, bro. Like, what's going on? Didn't I hung up on you before?
I'm not saying anything.
Bro, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You want to try that again? So you're telling me 253. There's nothing in the background, nothing.
Maybe the AC, but I'm not talking though.
Okay, Nick from Baltimore. Maybe I'll take a lap on this. Nick, do you have somebody talking in the background?
No, I'm on by myself.
Travis, do you? It's okay if you do. Travis, do you have anybody in the background?
No.
Well, 253. I'm almost guaranteeing this is you. Whatever it is, I heard you go. All right, hang tight, 253. Mute yourself real quick. I'll be right back. Nick, my question is, do you? And I didn't hear your answer. If you have Hunter in every league but this one, do we think maybe variance is good? A little variation.
I mean, I still want to be all in on Hunter. I mean,
what if it goes awry? I'm the biggest Hunter fan in the world, bro. I'm the biggest Hunter fan you'll ever find. Check this out. This is the equivalent to the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men. This will be called the Throne Men, and this will be during the season. And it'll be the 9 must-own players. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're the highest scorers. It doesn't have to be the top 5 running backs straight down the list. This is literally the guys that I want you to have on your team. Some of them might be balling currently, and I expect them to continue. And some of them might be on the verge of balling out. But this will be what we're talking about during the season, as well as the Wild Wild West. But I think the caller hung up, who was that, A2, A squared, or whoever that was. He hung up. I guess he got mad at me. I am almost positive that was him. I mean, Travis isn't making those noises, and there's nobody talking to Travis. And Nick, unless you want to fess up and you had the show on in the background or there's some noise, Nick?
well, I mean, the only thing that it could have been is that I had my headphones like 3 feet away, and I have my phone on speaker, so it could have been that.
I don't know.
I mean, that's like what it could have been.
It could have been.
It was a total accident if it was that.
No, yeah, I'm not mad at you. I the last time I had everybody mute themselves, and then it was the same exact mumbling in the background. Try calling in again, caller, whoever you were. If that's A squared, I think he's mad at me. Anyway, Travis, you want to weigh in on this? MHJ, I mean, look, MHJ, you want to have shares of MHJ too, bro. I'm not saying don't get Hunter, but I'm the biggest Hunter fan you'll ever find. But you're wanting to go all in, like you want to bury yourself with the situation if it goes awry, or take them all to the moon or nothing. That's the way you're approaching this. I don't know, Nick.
I
want both.
Just as much as one Hunter.
Yeah, I think you back off on this. Like, let me force all my teams into a square hole when it might be a round peg built team. Like, I bet you're leaving. No offense, Nick. I can read you like a book. I bet you're leaving some value on the table on some of these deals. Just making sure you're getting Hunter. I think you probably overpaid in like 2 or 3 of these situations. I gotta have them in every league. Got to do it, which is not. It's not a.
I mostly have been, drafting him. That's what I've been doing a lot. It's not that I've been giving crazy for him or anything like that, but
make him give you something.
I view him. I don't want to miss out on the next Jane Daniels.
You're not, Nick. How many leagues do you have him in? How are you going to miss out? How many leagues do you have him in? Be honest.
You're right.
How many leagues though? Really?
Wouldn't it be better if you had him in every league?
I think you're trying to take an L here. Like, if are you the kind of person that's watching and literally Hunter scores a touchdown in 7 of your leagues and you're mad? You're not even happy because of the 1 league that you don't have him in. Is that the way you're watching football, bro?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
MHJ's ball.
Like, if Lamar Jackson, it's because I'm a Ravens, Lamar Jackson has a great game and they bench him in the 4th quarter and that caused me to lose. That's what makes me mad. That's what.
Hey, chat.
Crazy about that.
Chat. Would you rather have MHJ than Hunter in 1 league? If you have, how many leagues do you have Hunter in, bro? Just be honest. 10, 5, 4, 70? Not best ball, just regular leagues. How many leagues do you have Hunter in? 20 gifted memberships from New Age. Nick, did my phone line crash again?
Oh yeah, you're asking me?
Yeah. How many leagues? How many times do I got to ask you? How many leagues do you have Travis Hunter in?
I mean, I'd have to look at it.
He's like, he's not wanting to answer the question.
At least 50%.
Okay, that's not every league.
Underdog. Not on underdog.
No, I'm talking about Dynasty.
Okay, well, think about it. New Age Outlaw giving
I'll look at it.
20 gifted memberships. I don't mind it if you want to do it straight up. I Smitty approve either side, but I'm just saying don't race out of all of your shares of MHJ and oversaturate, and then an injury happens and you lose all your leagues. All right, Nick, gotta go, bro. Appreciate you. If A squared wants to call back in, I apologize if that wasn't you. You didn't have to hang up. You just tell me it wasn't you. But no one likes to fess up when it's them. Everyone, and especially like Denny. Denny will. I'll be like, Denny, can you mute for a second? And Denny will. Yeah, sure. And then he won't. Yeah, I don't know. I love MHJ and Hunter. I want both of them. Truth is, MHJ is going to go higher. Doesn't mean it's right. It just means he's going to go higher. New Age Outlaw dropping 20 gifted memberships up in this mug. Thank you, New Age. Everybody.
Give me $50, holla.
Thank New Age if you got a membership from New Age Milton to the Moon. Thank you, Dean, for that super chat. We've got this one from Alan. Alan says, do you prefer Travis Hunter or MHJ in Dynasty? Oh, man, this is going to make Nick's stomach turn, especially if he just hit reject. I kind of want Hunter more, but damn it, now Nick's going to do it. There's no way Nick's not going to do it. But I like the diversification of Nick's situation. If he has him in like 7 leagues already, you should want an MHJ share. But I do actually like Travis Hunter a touch more. But the cost of entry is different too, though. Like, I feel like if you've got MHJ and you're going after Travis Hunter, you should command a little more and get as much as you can because the market probably commands it. Chase Brown is a better value. So, Nick, if you do it, just get more. Just get more. Don't get like a 3rd rounder. I don't care about that. Get more, Nick, and then I'll do it. I'll Smitty approve it. Chase Brown is a better value in the 3rd than Bucky in the 2nd. I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can necessarily say that Bucky's 100% a better pick than Chase Brown either. But I'll venture to say I like Bucky more in 2 than I like Chase Brown in 3. And I love both of them. But I want Bucky. Bucky could be the number 2 overall running back. But you're not like wrong for thinking this. I just think you're acting like it's cemented in and it's the gospel, and that's not the case. But I can appreciate either side, to be honest. If they were both in the same territory, it'd be Bucky. But since there's a round difference, you could talk about that. Getting the itch. I'll be back. 0 laps for your boy. Is that PL? Are you the one that called up? And I don't know. I don't even know what that means, but I appreciate you, bro. You'll be back for what? Let's see here. Jesse, how high are you willing to take Hampton in redraft leagues? 3-4 turn, but 4. I shouldn't even say that because it's going to make you guys start taking him in the 3rd. 4th, top 4.1. 4.1. I'm not imagining taking him any higher than that. 4.1, not 3.12 on your bookend pick. Use him, and especially seriously, if you're drafting Hampton, help his ADP live outside round 3 as much as possible. Do your part. If you're drafting as a 3.12 and 4.1 turn picks, do not take the player you want's ADP to remain solid first, because you're helping and assisting it climb. So 4.1 is the answer. I'm not saying that I haven't. Yeah, never mind. 4.1. Appreciate you, and go Bills. Thank you, my boy. Hampton to the moon. Hampton stock is rising.
Stock on the rise.
Hampton is now a full associate.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
I do have to redo that and make it Quadruple H and Associates. I do like. I could just make a little addition at the end though. It's kind of funny. Be like, hold on, it's Quadruple H now. Travis, anything else? I don't think I have a phone caller on the line. A squared's mad at me, I think. Sorry, A squared. 20 gifted by BBQ. I'm sorry, hold on one second. 20 gifted by BBQ.
Give me 50.
New Age Outlaw, BBQ, both dropping 20 gifted memberships. Thank them if you get one.
$50. Give me $50, holla. Get by the brother, Smitty. Give me $50. Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Travis. Sorry.
Oh, getting the itch, I'll be back. He'll be back for the fun.
Okay.
Come on now.
I thought maybe he was on the phone. I thought maybe he was the guy on the phone line. All right. Hey, thank you for the super chat, bro. What who was it again that said that? That was
Yeah.
PL. Thank you for the $5 hauler. Getting the itch. I'll be back. 0 laps for your boy. But where are you going though? Are you gonna watch the replay at least? Like, why are you leaving? Appreciate you dropping the 50. All right, let me hit the phone. Let me hit the phone line real quick.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hawk Daddy. Hawk Daddy. Is that a relation to Hawk Tua? This is Smitty Paradox. He's funny, sharp, and helps people win. So why would I want my opponents to see him? Well, bro, that, you can tell. You don't have to tell people in your direct league, but you can tell people you work with that you don't play with, or you can tell people at a sports bar, or you're picking up a sub, or you're at Chipotle, or you're out at Costco and somebody's wearing a Raider jersey. You can tell other people. You can figure out a way to make it up to me by telling other people that aren't in your league, at least. All right, that's my request.
Confident. You confident you're gonna win?
Yeah. Show people that you're a part of the show. Brees or Hampton in the fourth. Probably Brees by a hair, but this might be one of those things where, again, I got two drafts side by side. I take Hall in one, and then I take Hampton in the other. But I do believe that I can sometimes get them both if I go Hall first and then Hampton second. But I would be fine taking one over the other. I just lean Hall if I had one league. I think Hall could be a top 5 running back. I think Hampton can be a top 7 to 10 running back. I don't know that he'll be number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Hall could technically be the second best fantasy football running back. He has been number 2 before. So I'm going to lean toward Hall. It's a great question, and I know a lot of people doubt Hall. I don't care. I don't care what other people do. Hall's a guy that could lead the whole entire league running backs in receptions, in like receiving production. He'd be the number 1 running back in the league in receiving yards, touchdowns, receptions. And Fields is going to check down to him all day long. It's going to be a check down fest, man. It's going to be unbelievable. PL said, Smitty, I'm saying I'm back for your content. I'm always watching, bro. Just been busy. Okay, PL, thank you, pal. We were just confused by it, but I appreciate you. Super Smitty says rock out. Rock out, I don't see a super from you yet. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Why didn't I see this? Weird. Rock out, thank you. 12,325 steps so far today. Guys, I'm doing a 41-day challenge. Every day we get closer, I just rename it. 40-day challenge, 39-day challenge, 38, because I don't want anybody to feel like they can't get on board even on day 25. Opening day, Thursday night football, week 1. Set a goal. You have 41 days if you start today to accomplish said goal. My goal I'm trying to accomplish is losing. Well, right now I think I have to lose like 13 more pounds, but I want to be 200 pounds even and ripped and be in the best shape I could possibly be in. Maybe the best shape of my life, aside from like being 18 and running track. But even then I was a stick. I was just bone skinny. I was strong, but I want to be in the best shape of my life, and I'm going to do it. And BBQ said he's dropping a $500 super chat if I get to my goal weight by week 1 opening day. So everybody set a goal. It could be eating better, quitting drinking soda. It could be just running once a day, walking 10,000 steps a day, eating better, drinking more water. I would say set something attainable, but set something that, improves your life dramatically, and let's do it together. That way, when you see me, slimming down and I start getting cut, I'm not cut yet. When I start getting fit, you'd be like, I'm doing this too. You're not feeling left behind. Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt Commanders, new running back 1. As I talked about at the beginning of the show, bro, he's certainly a camp winner right now. Not that he's won camp, not that he's won the starting job, but they're certainly wanting to get this guy the ball. And it sounds like, and I've got Corey Krosky Merritt down here under strong camps. It sounds like he's really gaining some steam to getting an early look. Not that he'll get the starting job, but he might very well end up being used quite a bit early on, and not share the role, but be used enough to be relevant to show his stuff, so that if something goes awry, he's already in motion and in accomplishing things in this offense, so that's a very easy transition if anything should end up happening to Brian Robinson Jr. And I think that Brian Robinson Jr., a very, very questionable, long-term 2025 value. I think James Conner, very questionable 17-game value to me. And you can chalk that up to gut instinct mixed with, an injury history. But I think it's pretty accurate. I think it's a very safe bet to say Benson, who got more and more work as the season went along last year anyway, that they're going to transition over to Benson at some point. I think the same thing's going to be said for potentially the Corey Krosky Merritt situation, because they drafted him for a reason. But we also have to not get ahead of our skis because we saw Ben Sinnott get drafted, a monster. I still believe Ben Sinnott could be the next George Kittle. Like, he's got that much ability. He could get stepped over, and we don't know. Sometimes you never know, And if anybody says, "Oh yeah, how was your Ben Sinnott prediction?" You never know. Like, what if Kurt Warner never got a second chance in the NFL because he was cut by the first team that brought him in? He was undrafted. He was brought in. They ended up sending him out elsewhere. He thought he was done. He was about ready to call it quits. He got one more phone call and went over to Vermeil. And if it wasn't for the Trent Green injury, we would never know if Kurt Warner was the real deal. So you just never know. Ben Sinnott could be that guy. He might not be that guy. But what I do know is when Adam Peters spends a draft pick on you, he intends to utilize you. He loves draft picks, and he's fantastic. He identified George Kittle. He identified Brock Purdy. He identified all the Niner players from those deep rounds, middle rounds, even had a hand in the early rounds, although had less of a hand in the early round picks. I mean, he was involved in the Trey Lance pick, but he was not responsible fully on Kyle. But as far as identifying Kittle and bringing these high prospect names to the Niners organization, that was all Adam Peters. He comes straight over and in 1 year turns the Washington Commanders around. So if he wants Ben Sinnott, if he wants Corey Krosky Merritt, if he likes Jalen Lane, we all better listen. If he thinks Debo's still got it and he doesn't go get Ayuk, remember what I told you when we all thought, okay, Ayuk's JD5's best friend. Let's get JD5 a receiver. And you remember what I told you when Adam Peters said no? Trust him. There's a reason why. Look how big of a disaster that would have been. You could say, oh, well, Smitty, he may not have torn his ACL. He was a head case before that ACL ever got torn. The guy wasn't even playing well. He was in his own head. He was a disaster. Adam Peters knows. He went and got the better wide receiver. Debo's going to ball out. He's having an amazing camp right now. He's in the best shape of his life, and you Debo haters out there are going to eat your words later. It's going to be a beautiful sight. Jazzy, appreciate you. Corey Krosky Merritt to the moon. Very, very, very solid prospect. Who's on the phone line now? Just Travis. I don't know if that A squared guy's calling back. I think he hates me now.
Upset.
Bro, I don't have the best bedside manner, but I'm almost positive that was coming from your phone. And if it was Nick from Baltimore, Nick from Baltimore's reasoning was weird, but it was weird that he offered it up as if he kind of knew he did something. I don't know. Maybe it was Nick from Baltimore, A squared. So you call back up and I'll apologize to you. How's that? I'll take a lap. I'll do 10 push-ups right now. You're out. You're out. You're out. I'm excited about this, guys. This new Throne Men. Might be some of my best composed music I've ever composed too, by the way. I mean, that's just, it's ready. This is ready. 9 must-own players. This is our in-season kind of version of the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men. So far, there's only 9. I could imagine expanding something along the lines of like the Knights of the Throne Men or something like that. But right now, this will be the 9 players that I want you to have, and there'll be different reasons and rationales for them. This is in season. This is an in season feature. The Marsman, Moonman, all the space stuff. Space is in the off season. Wild Wild West and Throne is during the season. And for those of you that don't know, this is where we're going to have some of these buy lows, sell highs. The Wanted.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run. Wanted.
One outlaw. All this coming from week 1 on. Moonmen, Marsmen, Saturnmen, all spacemen retired until the next offseason, until January 1. Travis, what else you got?
Message for it.
New Age, my boy. 7-month membership. My goal to drink a beer a day to keep the doctor away. I'm sure you can. You've got this, New Age. You've got this. You can do it. I believe in you. BBQ to the rescue with a super chat. Says pre-NFL draft and training camp are smoke season, preseason big plays, and ADP riser season, but nothing beats year-round 24/7 fantasy football show. Thank you, BBQ. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you for the $5 hauler. Probably my biggest, like if I had to give a couple big takeaways from what's going on with camp, I would say Penix Jr. Get ready for it. The Falcons are going to explode. JD5 Debo, get ready for it. Rice, who knows what the suspension is, if he's even suspended at all. But the other thing, go ahead.
I think another piece is that Smith and the Royals involved. I lose a couple games, but I think what's even more, you've been that
they are. Isn't it crazy how
and people to win.
They hate Mahomes.
Yeah, they got to get on.
Isn't it weird, though, that these coaches will telegraph what they're going to do? You'd think these are smokescreen statements, but they're like, no, we're going to throw the ball more this year. And it's like, hey, defenses, this is what we're planning to do. But a lot of the times these coaches are telling the truth. They're really trying to tell their fan base and everybody what's going on. And Reed's not joking. They're going to throw downfield. They're going to air it out. The Mahomes that everybody thinks is gone and dormant and never returning is a Mahomes that has been that Mahomes, the top 4 Mahomes, more than he's not been. 4 seasons, Mahomes has been a top 4 quarterback in fantasy and in the NFL, and only 3 seasons has he not been. And even those were all top 10. People that don't understand that he lost all of his weapons last year and that he was on his way to not having that QB 10 season. He probably would have had QB 4 or 5 type of numbers in 2024 had he not lost Hollywood and Rice and then had to rely on a rookie Worthy that wasn't quite ready till midseason. This would have been probably 5 or 6. It would have been just this blip on the radar. His number 8 overall, had he suffered a bunch of injuries in 2020 and in his wide receiver room, you would have seen Mahomes finish as, number 7 or 8 there. And then you would have thought you had a pattern going. But really, what happened with this number 8 year going into number 3 was going to happen for his 2024 campaign. It's just a year delayed. So, and 2019, was that when he suffered when did he suffer the knee injury? When was that? I forget what it was. I think it was later on. Might have been during playoffs. I forget.
On top of that, because Mahomes is on the feet, so he's not on the back.
Yeah.
You rip him number 1 wide receiver, then it's going to be
Most recent text to my Bills plug. Anyone standing out? Keon for sure. Yeah, I like Keon. I do. I'm very much rooting for him. He dominated camp last year and preseason. And, well, really that time frame, scrimmages, and Josh Allen was looking Keon Coleman's way every turn. Keon Coleman was pulling in massive amounts of touchdowns, one-handed jump balls, mossing people, grabbing the ball over him. I mean, Keon's a big dude, and he looked phenomenal. And then he just crapped the bed. And he was injured, so part of that is, to be considered. Josh Allen turns away from younger or new addition players. Look at Amari Cooper doing nothing after they traded for him, and I think he's still got a little left in the tank. We'll see if the team brings him in. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand why Keon Coleman didn't do what he was supposed to do. I'm more dumbfounded about that than really anything from last year. And so I am hopeful that he does. And same thing with Kincaid. I don't think I was wrong on Dalton Kincaid. As far as his talent, I think I didn't see a situation where Josh Allen did lean on Diggs and laser lock on Diggs. It wasn't crazy to think Kincaid was going to be laser locked on as well. Josh Allen changed the way he wanted to spread the ball around because he was definitely honed in on Stephon Diggs. Hard to say what's going to happen. Will Josh Allen change his ways? Does he just need a little time and now he's going to bring Keon into the fold? Hard to say. But Kincaid does have some appeal now that he's completely free. So maybe Kincaid has a good year. We'll have to see. I still am hopeful, but I'm not betting the farm on Keon or Kincaid. Although I would bet the farm on Josh Allen still, if that makes sense.
He was a little banged up last year. Number his entire career. Over the past 2 years,
yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. Jesse says most recent. Oh. And then this one from KB says, speaking of Keon Coleman, I did the Tootin trade, but now you're giving me buyer's remorse. What did you trade, Tootin for Coleman? Or Coleman for, what did you do? Because I talked about Tootin? Well, I mean, bro, you gotta understand, Tootin was drafted to be probably the eventual guy. That's why Liam Cohen took him. Maybe you're saying because you're excited about Coleman now for me talking, but you got Tootin. I don't know what I advised you last time. I mean, this is a very close call. I'd probably rather have Tootin than Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
But I could very much argue either side, though, just so you don't feel bad.
You almost wonder, Owen, Allen, outside of, yeah, if I get anywhere around one or both or doing, I have my two running backs. We got to still in that for. So, I think
and he said
being big to be out.
He says I told him Tootin. Okay, then you had the player I'd rather have, bro. I mean, just because I'm talking this moment in time, someone asked me about Keon Coleman and you're having buyer's remorse, but at the beginning of the show, I just talked about Bigsby getting first team reps, but then Tootin was getting second team reps. Let me also make this point. The most likely trade candidates is going to be ETN. He's going to be on this list. Let me add Gump in here real quickly. Gump, hang tight. Just mute yourself real quickly. I'll be right with you. Trade candidates. These are the most likely players to get traded before, let's call it mid-season. Kenneth Walker is one running back that could get traded. Then Charbonnet jumps into the role. And imagine if you own both of them and Walker goes to the Commanders. That would be unreal. Bigsby could get traded. It's possible. Bigsby could get traded. I think more likely the ETN gets traded than Bigsby, especially given I think Bigsby's running with the first team right now, it seems. So ETN would be more likely a running back that would get traded. I think if you look around the league and you try to identify like another player that has the most trade potential or potentially the most likelihood of being traded, I don't know that you're going to have anybody else really. Yeah, I don't know. I think these are it. I think these are the 3 RBs. There's somebody else that I feel like I'm missing. I don't know. Swift, no. Chicago. So the 2 likely receiving teams would be Chicago or Washington, I would think. Now, the thing is, I know everyone's going to say, well, what about Corey Krosky Merritt? And that's true. That's why it wouldn't happen. But if, let's say, he's not the guy, Chicago would probably be the number 1 team that's going to go after an RB. The number 2 team, and this could fall off and not even be a consideration, would be Commanders if they don't love what Corey Krosky Merritt's doing, and they certainly do right now. Chicago, I predict, is going to have a horrible start to the year. Caleb looks like trash right now, as predicted. Ben Johnson can't fix Caleb Williams. You think he can? I don't think he can. Once that happens, what's Ben Johnson going to try and do? Resort to finding his Gibbs and Monty combo. He doesn't have that in Chicago. He crapped the bed harder than I've seen a new head coach crap the bed in regards to their ability to do certain things, and he didn't go get the resources to do those things. You're talking about somebody that's a master bread maker, okay? But yet they go out and they buy sandwich meat, and they start making sandwiches at their deli, and they don't even know how to make sandwiches. Ben Johnson is an architect of the offense, both the passing and the rushing, but he is a master bread maker. And he didn't go get any loaves of bread or any sort of, starter mix to create his bread. He didn't do any of that. He has DeAndre Swift on roster, who he sent packing. He sent packing as a part of a decision-making group, sent DeAndre Swift to Chicago away from Detroit, and now he follows him over. It's kind of like putting one of those bottles in the ocean with a wish, and you put it in the bottle, throw it into the ocean, and then you go across the ocean to the other side, and all of a sudden the bottle comes floating right back to you. And now you are the one that has to open that. That's the same way this is. Like Swift, I like Swift. Swift could be, I would say, the inverse of what he had. So I think Gibbs is obviously the league winner, the best running back in the league outside of Bijan. And then Monty's the very good running back, but he's not elite. He's very good still. I think that Swift is very good, and his elite running back is going to need to be the Monty version. So he's going to have to go get a Bigsby. He's going to have to go get a Walker. ETN kind of fits the bill of a morph between the two. But these are 3 RBs that I believe one ends up in Chicago at some point when Chicago needs to make a change because they aren't doing it with what they have. Again, best situation rookie quarterback's ever been handed. Okay, that didn't work. Smitty called that. Now, second year, best situation a sophomore quarterback has ever been handed. Look at this offensive line. Okay, maybe that didn't work either. Now what do we do? And they extend Ryan Poles. Unbelievable. Who's on the phone line? Gump? Gump, you're live.
I just think that we all don't need to be on unraveled, frazzled, freckled, spickled Francis. All right? We need to take it a little bit easy and make sure that we get things right. And what we need to know that is right is Ben Weasel is horrible. He is horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
Weasel.
Okay, I just told you Ben Johnson doesn't have what he needs. Doesn't mean he's horrible. And Gump, you keep bringing this up, and you end up getting hung up on. So I don't know if you want to get hung up on tonight, but answer the question. Because when you don't, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer the question. Otherwise, I will just hang up. Okay? So answer the question. Here comes the question. I'm waiting for an answer, or my fingers hang. I'm putting it over the button. Hold on. Okay, I have my finger over the button. Do you really believe that Ben Johnson not being in Detroit, or actually, better yet, do you really believe in your heart of hearts that Ben Johnson was not calling plays in Detroit and responsible for majority of everything you saw in Detroit in the last handful of years when he made your offense a marvel, when he turned Goff into an angel?
No,
You don't think he was in charge?
absolutely not.
Okay, so then why are you blaming him for a play that happened in the playoffs as if he was in charge of that? You said he's not in charge. You said he's not. You said we've all had the wool pulled over our eyes. We haven't known that he's not play calling, that it's Campbell as he's chewing his gum, marching around, barking orders on the sideline. You think Campbell's the one drawing up the plays somehow, obliviously.
This is what you want me to tell you what I really, really believe?
No, Gump, I want you to lie to me. Yes, tell me what you really think. Tell me what you really think.
What I really, really believe is that when they lost that game against the loser Redskins, okay? And I think he called the play, and that's what cooked his goose.
You think so? He got one chance, so he didn't call plays all year.
I think he had more than one chance, but I seen when he.
Gump, do you know anything about football? Gump, you're almost making it seem like you don't know anything about football when you say this, and I know you know football pretty well, but for you to pretend that Ben Johnson wasn't architecting and calling plays, and you don't think that Campbell.
My high school coach is better than Ben Weasel. To be honest with you.
If you saw Ben Johnson at the airport right now, you lick his boots.
Dribbly was the toughest, roughest coach there ever was. I think on planet Earth.
You got 3 X's. I'm sorry.
Finish him. Call terminated.
Rules are rules. 3 X's in the chat. You're gone. I can't control that. But if Gump saw Ben Johnson at the airport, he'd lick his boots. He'd be like, "Oh, sire. Hello, sire. Lord Johnson. Oh my God, can I get your autograph?" Or if Ben Johnson was sitting next to him and he saw him, and he's like, "So what do you think? You think I'm a good offensive coordinator? Am I going to be a good coach?" Gump would just crumble in his arms. BBQ said $10 holler. Thank you for the $10 holler. That's a Mars shot there.
To Mars.
Hello, sire. Lord Johnson. In my opinion, Ladder reminds me of Cooper Kupp. Adding Harrison, Hampton, Gadsden, fixing the middle of the line is going to unleash Herbert, especially in play action. Hampton is the key. Yeah, I'm really starting to love the Chargers a lot more. They're going to be tough. I think they win the wild card spot for sure. At this point, if I had to project, of course, I have the Bills winning the division, the Chiefs winning the division, the Bills winning the division, the Jaguars. I have this basically the top row as my projection. So I have the Broncos and the Ravens grabbing one wild card spot each, and it comes down to me. It comes down to the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Jets. And I think the Chargers have probably the best odds of grabbing the third wild card spot, in my opinion. And is there a chance they grab the second and then the Broncos grab the third, or the Chiefs struggle or something early on but come back? I mean, it's possible, but that's kind of the way I look at it. And I like Lad a lot, and for some reason people don't hear me. I don't know why. I think people just hear what they want to hear sometimes out of my mouth. They just think I'm saying one thing because I'm not liking an ADP. I like Ladd McConkey a lot. I just don't think he should be getting drafted at 14, 15 overall on underdog. I think he should be going in the third round where he's a steal. Third round near MHJ, Ladd, MHJ, JSN. They're all the same grouping of wide receiver with upside to be what we believe Ladd could be, what we believe MHJ could be, what we believe JSN could be, and has proven before. JSN was wide receiver, 7 last year? So those are all. Ladd being wide receiver 7 would be unbelievable. And that's what JSN was last year. So, you know, I don't understand why you have to be a hater on Ladd when you like him where you think he's deservingly needing to go, which is the 3rd round. You sound like me with Bucky. Well, that's your fault. That's your problem. That's not my problem. You think Bucky doesn't deserve to be in the 2nd round. I can't help you there. But I at least understand you, sure. But I don't agree with you. But yeah, Ladd in the 3rd round would be a steal. I'd take Ladd in the 3rd round all day. But I do think Trey Harris has a chance to be equals with him over time. Not in year 1 necessarily, but Trey Harris and Ladd coexisting might end up being a complete split. Trey Harris is that good. Ladd was partly a product of being an amazing route runner and everything. He's great. He was also part of a situation that fed only him, and he got all these targets. Trey Harris being there now, Trey Harris is going to be really, really solid. Trey Harris has a chance to be equals to Ladd rotationally, you know, one better than the other each year. Trey Harris is that good. Trey Harris has a lot of his game reminds me so much as Travis coined it as Nico, and then that clicked. That's the comp. That's the comp that I like for Trey Harris is a Nico, or a morph between Nico and who was my player that I kind of want to say like St. Brown, but like not really. Who's the receiver that I want to comp him to? Nico is a really, really good one, but there's another player. I mean, he has little bits of his game. I don't want to say Neighbors because then people go crazy because it just reminds me of the way he moves. Is Rashee Rice a good comp? Like a combo between Rashee Rice and Nico. I think that's what I would say Trey Harris is capable of being. And if anybody says Quentin Johnson, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it right on the live stream. What if Ben Johnson said, "Are you Gump from the Fantasy Football Show?" Be gone, peasant. Oh. Can you imagine Gump met Ben Johnson? He'd lick his boots, man. He would literally, "Can I shine your boots? Do you have any shining? You got your shine box? You got your shine box, Gump? Go get your shine box." And Gump would say, "I don't have a shine box, sir. Can I lick them with my tongue? Can I clean your boots with my mouth?" And Ben Johnson would say, "Yes, do it now." And Gump would just start licking his boots clean. Funny how JD5 made a bad offensive line good. Caleb made an average offensive line terrible. Yeah, you know what I love more than anything? When somebody thinks that the Bears offensive line was the worst offensive line or even the bottom 8 offensive line in the league last year. They weren't. The Bears were not even bottom 8 or really even bottom 10 in the league. And a Bears fan or a pro Caleb supporter will come in here and say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." No, I do. You don't know what you're talking about. The Bears offensive line was preseason ranked top 12. As BBQ just told you, in many categories. And they were not bottom 8 or 10 in every category. They were actually, in some cases, very middle of the pack. But people think it's bad because Caleb was the most sacked quarterback in the league. But guess what? Unfortunately for all of you that think the offensive line was the problem, the offensive line stops getting blamed after a certain number of seconds that Caleb exceeded on a majority of all those sacks, meaning the offensive line is not on the hook for a lot of the sacks that Caleb endured. It's on Caleb, not the offensive line. Travis, any final thoughts? We'll be back at midnight Eastern. All right. See you later, bro. All right. I got to restart my computer so we can get the phone line back to normal. Caleb was also not even in the top 32 quarterbacks in throwing to wide receivers when they were deemed open statistically. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. If you're a Caleb Williams truther and you think, oh, this is going to be the year. This is ridiculous to continue to cling to this. And you're not the only one. There are so many people out there that believe that Caleb Williams is, this kid that has this magic. He's a magic man. This is the kind of magic. We're down at the 10-yard line. The announcers are like, this is where that Caleb magic can happen. I don't know what magic they're referencing or speaking of. I've never seen it. I've even heard about it. My grandparents didn't even tell me fables this crazy. This guy was not even in the top 32 in the league for QBs when throwing to a wide receiver that was deemed statistically open. He was well outside the top 32 quarterbacks. This is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And he just does not feel like the kind of player that has the leadership qualities that the team sees and goes, that's the guy I'm going to war for. They see a guy that lays on the ground, he lays on the bench, and as you've seen in the reports, or maybe you haven't because you stepped away from football and you're just getting back, his coaching staff, Ben Johnson included, said they want him to clean up his image on the sideline, not lay down when he's tired, not lay on the field after he gets hit or throws a ball and it goes out of bounds, or, the ball gets tipped and it's not his fault and it's intercepted and he lays down like he's making snow angels in the grass and the turf. Like, he was asked, hey, Caleb, clean that up. It looks so unprofessional. You laying on the floor, laying on the bench. After press conferences, like in college, remember, you'd be like, Caleb, so how do you feel about the game? He'd lean over and go, I just want to go home, snuggle up and cuddle with my dog, is what he'd say. This is not somebody that you follow into battle. The magic. This is where the magic hat. This is where in this 8-yard line. This is Caleb territory. Oh yeah, where did you hear that? What statistic is suggesting that this is Caleb magic territory? I'm just curious. I don't know where anybody's getting this information. I'd love to see the call sheet on this one. I drafted Caleb and JD5, started Caleb game 1, and then sent him to the waiver wire. JD5 is him, and it just got better as the season went on. Baller. JD5 is just such a marvel. You know what's crazy is Caleb's going to take a huge step forward this year, right? Maybe he does maybe it stays the same, but step forward still make him average. And Ben Johnson will probably do his best. Penix Jr. is going to take a big step forward, right? Bo Nix take a big step forward. Drake May is going to take a big step forward. Huge step forward. What about JD5? Why does everybody assume JD5 stays the same? Oh, JD5's really good, but, we'll see if he gets any better. Why is JD5 not afforded the same amount of latitude to get better as all the other incoming sophomore QBs? I'll tell you why. He was so good as a rookie, people forget that he is scratching the surface. People forget adding Debo and what that could do for his ability to throw for 4,500 yards, throw for 35-plus touchdowns, run for 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. He did it in college. He threw for 50. And let me put up JD5's college, or 40. Threw for 40, scored 50. Threw for 40, ran for 10, scored 50 total touchdowns. 3,800 yards, 1134 on the ground. That was coming out of college. And what did I tell everybody? And I said it over and over. You probably remember me beating a dead horse on this. And I said, he is the best college quarterback in FBS history in the last 10 years in deep ball passing. 67% completion percentage on 20-plus yard throws in 2023. The last 3 games, he had 11 TDs and 0 INTs. He's a ball protector. And boy, everything we predicted for JD5 unveiled itself as the year went on. I see a question, would you rather have Caleb or Penix Jr.? What do you think I'm going to say to that question? Penix Jr. should have been drafted in the top 5 overall. I told you he'd be a top 10 pick. No one out there predicted predicted Penix Jr. to be a top 10 pick, especially since January, unwavering. From January through the NFL draft, before the national championship game, after the national championship game. People said Penix Jr. wasn't even a first-round quarterback. Penix Jr. should have been drafted over Caleb, and Caleb went number 1 overall. Penix Jr. is twice the quarterback Caleb is. Twice. 3 times, maybe 4 times better than Caleb Williams. Are we crazy here? Bo Nix, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, all better than Caleb Williams. BBQ, appreciate you. Thank you to my super chatters. BBQ. KB, appreciate you. Jesse, appreciate you. BBQ. Jazzy, Jesse, P&L, or PL. Moonrocks, appreciate you. With the Chase Brown is better in the 3rd round than Bucky. I disagree, but I still appreciate you. I think they're both damn amazing. Jesse, Alan, Rock Out, Jazzy, Dean, appreciate all my super chatters. BBQ and New Age Outlaw, gifted memberships. I don't know if anybody else gifted memberships, but let me just check. No, it's New Age 20 and Outlaw 20. Unbelievable. And then celebratory messages. We had New Age Outlaw 7 month. New Age, appreciate you. I'll see you guys all at midnight Eastern. Don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. In fact, I'm going to go there now. The link's in the description of the video. The link is in the description of every video. If you later on decide you want to join the Patreon and you think, I wonder what that link is, it's in the description of any video. You just got to go back and find it. I'm going to go on Patreon right now and type in any post 8 p.m. show topics. Boom. I'm on there live chatting right now. If you want to join me, anybody already on the Patreon, just go on over and let's have an extended conversation. It's basically the live chat that you see in the live chat now, extending over after hours, 365, 24/7, and especially on game day. It's crazy. And especially after Sunday Night Football, we get in there and start talking waiver wire predictions and all that. And boy, do I have some surprises for you for 2025 in-season content, waiver wire show, weekly lineup stuff. All that is going to be absolutely unreal. Get ready for it. You will not be disappointed this year. This year is going to be such an amazing year. So I'll see you all here at midnight Eastern. I go live midnight Eastern almost every single night. I go live whenever big news breaks, and I additionally go live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is this show right here. That is sometimes 3 and 4 and 5 live streams a day. I upload all my videos right around 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I try and do that at least 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. My goal is to do it every day. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 days, but all the videos will be at in the morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. That's 4:30 Pacific time. Johnny, we need replay crews as well. Silver Rapture in the building. That's our longest running follower that I can calculate anyway. He's like follower 3 or 4 from the beginning of this thing. So Silver to the moon. See you all at 8 p.m. or midnight Eastern. Midnight tonight. I'll be live. I'll be back. Appreciate you. Thank you, 93. Appreciate that message. You rock as well, my boy. Thank you, Vader. Thank you, Rhino. Thank you, Silver Rapture. Thank you, Johnny Klein. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Caps. Thank you, Travis and moderators. Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Space Ricky, DeBalt, Vampy, Terry Roberts, Kenny Powers, Double A. Appreciate all you. Sorry, A Squared. If you're out there, I still appreciate you, pal. And calling tonight, we'll reset. Okay, it's on me. Mods to the moon. Caps, appreciate you. I said Johnny Klein and Vader. Matt Huff, appreciate you. Overcome to the moon. Caleb looked a lot better than I initially thought he would. Definitely not out on him, says Overcome. I don't know where you got that, but Overcome, I still appreciate you. Let's see here. Rock Will, appreciate you, my guy. Gucci, what's going on? Matthew, or Gump, that's Gump. Outsider, appreciate you. Frank. Theo, appreciate you. See you all tonight, midnight Eastern. Deuce.
He's a 5. JD5 is the only 5. JD5 is him, and now all can see. He graduated from Himothy University. Unleash the Washington Kraken. JD5 to Saturn
and beyond.
The Jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
Hi. What would you like? Footballs, please. Lots of footballs, please. Coming up.
He's Marvin, he's 11 feet tall, and he loves to consume the football. He's Kyler, he's 4 feet tall, but Starvin' Marvin will answer the call.